good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, thank you all for taking out time for this particular session. Uh, I would also like to thank HPCI for giving us an opportunity to present these insights here. I'll try to make it quick and efficient and engaging because I know it's almost lunchtime, so I wouldn't try to stretch it too far. Just to introduce myself, I work as Associate Director for Client Success at Mintel India. I have almost a decade of experience in market research. I've worked in companies like Nielsen, Kantar in the past, so mostly worked in the FMCG space. Talking about Mintel, we are a 50 plus year old market research company. We are based out of UK and we are operational globally. And we basically help our clients understand what consumers want and why, and how our insights can be used in product innovation, product development, marketing, communication. And we work with all kinds of clients, including FMCG clients, uh, private label manufacturers, ingredient houses, flavor houses, fragrance houses. So since we have wide range of expertise, which comes from various sources of data, like consumer data, product data. So I'll talk about these things in detail. So we have our hero service known as GNPD, basically where we capture 40 to 50,000 new launches every month. And in our database, we have been capturing active launches since early 2000s. So our database has 2 decades plus of data as far as FMCG launches is considered across 86 markets. So it's a global coverage. And everything that's mentioned on the pack gets captured. So whether it is benefits, ingredients, claims, packaging material, everything gets captured. And it gets saved in a very structured manner. And that helps us analyze this data and put together trends in the industry. Apart from that, we have our expert analysts, 300 plus analysts working globally who bring with them category expertise, local expertise, and along with that, they use Mintel data to come up with insights and trends, some of which we will be looking at today. Talking about reports, we have specific consumer reports in various markets. Just talking about Asia, we have consumer reports for markets like India, China, Japan, Thailand. So, and talking about India, in our consumer reports, we cover about 50 categories every year. So moving forward, out of those 50 categories, 30 will be dedicated to beauty and personal care, and 20 will be dedicated to food and drink. For each of these reports, the base size that we have is about 3,000 respondents. So it's a very strong representative sample for the urban India market. And while we get primary data from the surveys that we do, we integrate that with our product data and the additional desk research that our analysts do, and they arrive at detailed category reports. So from our reports, you get market understanding, competitor understanding, some of the interesting trends, and how the future looks like for the category. Here's a glimpse at some of the category reports that we will be publishing in 2024. So if you are interested in beauty and personal care, you can see all the different titles that you can think of, whether it is hair care, whether it is skin care, male grooming, baby care, all these different titles are going to be covered in the coming year. We are stationed at F11 booth. So in case you guys want to know more about Mintel, you can reach out to me, or you can find us at booth number F11. This slide just shows the presence of our expert analysts globally. So we have a global presence, and our analysts basically use this consumer data to arrive at futuristic trends about categories and markets. The trend analysis that we do is mainly based on these 7 pillars. So any kind of analysis or trends that we arrive at, these pillars form the foundation of those insights. In today's session, we'll be focusing on beauty and personal care, and we'll be covering 3 important trends. As of now, these trends are becoming big in global, but what we have done is we have used our Indian consumer data to understand how these trends are going to travel to a market like India, and how India can actually get inspired by global companies and sort of try to integrate that in their own innovations, how Indian companies can do that. So the first trend that we'll be covering is about sophisticated simplicity, which is also inspired by the skin minimalism trend, where consumers are looking for premium offerings, but with very minimalistic communication. Even the packaging, which has minimal communication on the pack, is considered more premium. The second aspect that we'll be looking at is neuroglow, where we'll be looking at correlation between beauty, personal care, and mental well-being, because we are all aware about the growing awareness about mental well-being and how it correlates with beauty, personal care, and how Indian companies can take some cues from that and develop innovation which cater to that particular area. And the last topic, we've tried to keep it as relevant as possible because we are all aware of AI and how quickly it is taking over. So, of course, like any other field, beauty, personal care is not too far from the reach of AI. So we'll be looking at some innovations which have integrated AI in their communication or in their ideation process. And then we'll look at some examples how, again, Indian brands can seek inspiration or are already practicing it. To get started with the first trend, which is around sophisticated simplicity. Yeah, just before I get into the main presentation, during the presentation, if you have any questions, you can let me know. We are available at booth 11 for today as well as tomorrow. So you can reach out to us. You can talk to us about any questions that you have with regards to this presentation or any other questions related to FMCG segment. So yes, we are seeing that beauty industry is experiencing a paradigm shift because consumers are looking for high quality, effective ingredients. So it is basically driven by the new era of beauty where consumers feel less is more. And hence consumers want brands to be very transparent about the communication, and the efficacy aspect needs to be driven by the ingredient, technology, or credibility aspect, so that consumers believe in the products that they buy, that they are applying to their skin. Now, having a look at some consumer data. So as I mentioned, we do consumer surveys all over the globe. So just trying to get some understanding about the minds of consumers with regards to this particular trend. So we can see that about 85% of urban female consumers in India think that it is worthwhile to take the time out and compare different products and find the best deal for them. Because of course, India is a very value-oriented market, and consumers are very quick to compare products based on their price or the overall value that the products are offering. In US, we can see that half of the consumers always try to research the ingredients of the product that they are going to buy. And again, some more data from Indian female consumers that about 63% of those consumers feel that high quality ingredients can actually encourage them to make purchases as far as beauty grooming products are concerned. So looking at some examples from global markets which are trying to integrate these trends, trying to drive value through honesty and transparency. So Thix, for example, is a UK-based example where they are trying to keep their communication as honest as possible. They are trying to make it clear to the consumers that that their technology is not magic, it's science, and it will take time to show results. So they're not talking about any overnight results related to topical hair care. So being very honest in their communication. Skin School is another example, which is basically a search engine where consumers can not just put in their skin requirements, but or their personal care requirements, but also the price range in which they are looking for certain products. So it helps them find the right fit for the products, not just the ones that suit their skin type or hair type, but also the ones that suit their wallets. Few more examples where brands are being honest and talking about efficacy. So, for example, the first example that you see on the left-hand side is by Will Perform, which is a company owned by Serena Williams. So it basically blurs the boundaries between skincare and healthcare. So of course, Serena Williams is a renowned athlete. So these products are positioned in a way that when a person goes through certain kind of athletic activity or a high intense gym workout, after that they can apply these products. So these products will not just enhance their look or beauty, but will also make them feel better after an exhausting workout. The second product example by Hylomark Cream actually gives consumers, identifies combinations of ingredients based on consumer requirements, and gives them a personalized product considering the best combination that works for them. And the last product example from US, which is known as Magic Molecule Solution, they call themselves as a single solution for different skin-related problems, whether it is scars, whether it is cuts, any post-acne related problem. And they're talking about presence of just one ingredient, which is hypochlorous acid. Moving forward, while we do analysis at Mintel, we don't just use the tools that we have, or the ones that we do use for our research. We also look at social listening data using our platform known as using the platform known as Infiji. And using that social listening data, we can see that as far as skincare is considered, in India, people are talking about things like routine, ingredients. They are also aware of interesting formats like serums and the specific benefits that are associated with skincare. So in short, consumers are way more educated about skincare in India than they were before. Looking at few more examples. Now these examples are India-based, and we can see how these companies are sort of talking about efficacy and power of being transparent about the ingredients that they are using. So the first product example is by Dew. It combines the power of 11 different actives in one serum to deliver the overall skincare. The second product example is by Brillare, where they are trying to be extremely transparent, highlight all the different ingredients that are going into the product, giving a detailed understanding to the consumers. And Forest Essentials, of course, trying to provide customized Ayurveda solutions to the consumers. So moving forward, companies will have to invest more in research and development, and to develop formulations which rely on fewer ingredients, fewer active ingredients, and which can actually and also at the same time educate consumers about the ingredients that are being used, so that consumers can trust the brand and go for that particular product. Few more examples from different global markets as well as India. So India always looks at South Korea and Japan as far as beauty innovations is considered to get inspired by. So the first product example that we have over here using science-backed ingredients is a South Korea-based product. It claims to contain patented collagen, which delivers strong elasticity to the skin. The second product example that we have here is by Amino. It contains a patented copper tripeptide to deliver elasticity and overall better skin health. And the last product example that we have talks about containing 10% lactic acid. So consumers are also becoming mindful about not just the ingredient which are there in the products, but also the quantity of ingredients. So consumers are spending that extra bit of time, especially the urban consumers, to look into the the backside of the pack and look at the contents and what is the quantity of certain ingredients. Hence, a few brands are taking that route and highlighting the hero ingredient upfront and the quantity in which that ingredient is present. Some data from our global new product database. So as I mentioned, since we capture the data in a very structured manner, we can do any kind of analysis with regards to ingredients or claims. So from this chart, you can see that niacinamide, we started tracking it first in late 90s. And since then, its contribution to the launches every year in the beauty and personal care has gone up. So basically what this chart indicates, suppose there were 1,000 launches, suppose there were 100 launches in 2021, then 14 of those launches contained niacinamide, whereas that percentage has now gone up to 16. So there's a steady but a continuous growth that we can see as far as niacinamide is concerned. Another way to establish efficacy in the minds of consumers is by actually, if they can actually see some tangible effect upfront or some transformative textures while using certain products. So the first product example, while it is from the oral care space, but we thought it's good to have a look at other categories as well for the sake of inspiration. So this particular product example is a toothpaste which is targeted to kids, and it has a texture changing concept, color and texture changing concept. So while kids are brushing with this particular toothpaste, during that process, the color of the paste would change and its texture would also change. So it makes brushing a fun experience for the kids. The second example that we have here is from US by Strip Caviar. It basically features suspended bubbles and it's a makeup remover. So when consumers actually apply this makeup remover on their face, the bubbles start bursting after as soon as the product starts delivering. So it basically again is a more intuitive way of telling consumers that hey, the product is working. So this is another way to drive efficacy in the minds of consumers. Now let's look at what could happen in next 5 years based on how trends are emerging as of now and how some of the big brands are acting globally about it. Brands, of course, need to explore more as far as ingredients is concerned. Over here, we can see that 50% of South Korean female consumers feel that it's important to act now to protect the environment. So sustainability obviously continues to be important globally, and brands need to find ingredients which are sustainable as well as high on efficacy, because we have seen it in multiple data points that consumers wouldn't compromise on either value or efficacy at the cost of sustainability. So while consumers might claim that yes, sustainability is a priority, but they will always prioritize value as well as efficacy. So it's important that brands deliver on those two while delivering on sustainability. So for example, Givaudan has introduced Ret Life, which is a 100% natural origin retinol, which is produced through biotechnology. L'Oreal, along with Unilever and Cow, have made major investment in Geno, which is a biotechnology venture. So that's it from the first theme, which was about sophisticated simplicity, which was all about being transparent and delivering efficacy. Do we have any questions on that, or shall we move on to the second segment? All right, so maybe we can take the questions at the end, or you guys can also catch up with us at our booth. So the second topic that we have is about NeuroGlow. So as I just touched upon it initially, consumers are becoming aware about mental well-being, and especially in the urban space, because there is continuously growing stress. So consumers are looking for mental well-being related benefits in all strata of life, whether it is the food and drink products, more so in the vitamins and mineral supplements. But something that we see through our platform and in FMCG industry is that trends do travel from one category to another. And these trends are now coming from health segment to beauty and personal care as well, where consumers are looking for products where physical appearance is connected with mental well-being. So some more consumer data to validate this particular claim from India as well as the US. So we can see that about 84% of Indian adults agree that looking good makes them feel more confident. We can see that about 68% of Indian female consumers also believe that good mental health is the key to overall well-being. And about 33% of US consumers are willing to pay more for BPC products which have mind-boosting ingredients. So these, not just to sort of keep up with the competition, these benefits can also be used to premiumize your products to the consumers. So looking at what's happening now, so we can see that Shiseido is due to launch its Inner Beauty brand, which comes under Shiseido Beauty Wellness in Feb 2024. And so there are big players who are coming into this place and who are leveraging sleep as the key cue to strong well-being. So good sleep can be strongly related with strong well-being, and that's the kind of communication that they are trying to bring in the products through ingredients or through benefits. Few more product examples over here, which are following the path of NeuroGlow. So we can see that about 26% of Indian consumers have used beauty supplements and they would use it again. And 14% have never used it, but there is intention to use beauty supplements. So beauty ingestibles is also something that is very niche in India, but consumers are becoming aware of it. Global brands are doing it. So there is opportunity to explore more beauty ingestibles, because that stigma about using supplements is is not there anymore, or is it it's getting reduced? As even from a fitness point of view, whey protein, there were a lot of misconceptions about it 10 years ago, but now people are more comfortable about trying out different supplements as there's easy access to education. Hence, there's opportunity for beauty supplements as well. So the first example over here is from Japan by Lipocure, which uses BH tomato, which is rich in gamma aminobutyric acid, which can aid good sleep and also provide relaxation relaxation from anxiety and stress. The second product example is from France. It can be drunk, it can be consumed as a drink, or it can be applied on the hair. Again, it talks about providing relaxation and correlating it with good quality hair. And because we often hear that baldness or graying is closely related to the amount of stress you have. So that concept is being applied over here. And Sereco, which is an India-based product, claims to be the first psychodermatology brand for India. And basically, they have this product, which is a calming gel pen, which claims to improve the mood while also improving the skin biome. So now, as far as India is concerned, we have a very strong perception that whatever is natural is good, is sustainable. Ayurvedic is good, it's sustainable, and so anything, because it's something that we are all used to while we were growing up, that all the natural ingredients or home remedies were considered first before actually going for any cosmetic product. Hence, there's opportunity to use adaptogenic botanicals, which have been traditionally used in Indian medicines. So, for example, Image Skincare over here is using ashwagandha as the hero ingredient. Some more data from GNPD. Here we are looking at India specifically. So while we just spoke in the previous slide that there's opportunity for adaptogens, Indian herbs to be integrated in the beauty and personal care space to develop on in the psychodermatology space. So over here we can see but while there is a lot of opportunity, there's not enough application. If you look at some of the common extracts as well, which can serve as adaptogens, as of now, only 2 to 3% of product launches are using those ingredients. So while there's demand, there's opportunity, not enough brands are actually playing in that space. Some more product examples where brands are tapping into mind-body connection in India. So Daughter Earth contains vetiver root, which not only calms senses, but also nourishes skin. Ozone Skincare claims to relieve stress as well as improve the skin tone. Now looking at how we can how this theme is going to further evolve in the next 5 years as far as Indian market is considered, because psychodermatology is an evolving discipline, and it is important for brands to educate consumers about it, how they are integrating dermatology with psychiatry, and how it can play a strong role in skin health. Some examples, one from UK, one from India, which are inspired by psychodermatology. So Aromatherapy Associates, which is the US-based example, they have this particular product range, which is called as Mind and Skin Collection. It is inspired by psychodermatology. It has a bioactive complex that supports skin's natural resilience to combat negative effects of external stresses, whether it is physical stress like pollution or whether it is a mental stress. So it is talking about this bioactive complex being able to tackle any kind of stress. The second product example by Just Human is an Indian example. They are using the term neurocosmetic, and they talk about using neuropeptides, probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. So of course, probiotics have grown in the last couple of years, especially since the COVID lockdown. They started off with in the VMS space, then they moved to food and drink, and now they are getting into the BPC territory as well. And that's something that Just Human is capitalizing on. uh, the challenge would be to basically educate consumers. So while there is opportunity, there are ways to do it through ingredients. There are neuropeptides that are available, or the herbs that we spoke about. So while there's opportunity to do it, the main challenge is to actually educate the consumers about it, so that consumers are fully convinced about using these products. The last theme is about AI. So when we speak about AI, the first thing that comes to our mind is ChatGPT. And if we are a little more technologically enthusiasts, then we might think about Midjourney, which is an image generation tool. But how beauty can integrate AI and sort of deliver value to consumers in these fast changing times is what we'll be covering in this space. So first, we can see that there's a lot of optimism around AI, and consumers are willing to learn and try it in their day-to-day activity. So we can see that about 71% of Indian adults who have heard of AI agree that it will be very beneficial. And we can see that about 50% of Chinese consumers think that AI generated suggestions are actually better than the suggestions that are provided by human beings. So that way we can see that A, there is interest, there is openness, but B, there's also an established level of trust with regards to the fast-paced technology that AI is. However, there are a lot of concerns, especially with regards to data privacy when it comes to AI, because now things are becoming slowly, things are becoming way more regulated. But I remember trying out this tool. Of course, you guys might have also tried out Google Bard. So earlier, Google Bard could access any content. So suppose there's a certain book that which is available on Amazon, which you haven't purchased. Google Bard could give you any kind of information about that book which is mentioned inside the book, not in the summary section. So it could actually go into Kindle, read the book, and give you insights from that. But now there are restrictions coming into place, and now, of course, we can't do that. I did that about 5-6 months back. So because consumers don't trust AI, consumers have this perception about their privacy in threat. So it's important that while brands are using their data, brands should also assure them that their data is safe with them. Looking at some more data, this is from, again, some more social listening data. We can see that there is a lot of positive, there are a lot of positive perceptions as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, even in a market like India. This is an initiative by Ole. They called this particular tool iShoe. Of course, AI being the first two letters in iShoe. And basically, this tool was launched to educate young girls and provide mentorship to them, so that they can have conversations in this tool and sort of identify how they can go about their education, learning, and what are the opportunities. And they got some best people from women from industry to sort of contribute to this particular app and give out credible outputs to the consumers. A few more examples over here where AI is actually sort of like, of course, in ChatGPT, we can see how quickly we can get output. Similarly, over here, certain brands have started using AI, and it has fast-paced their processes. So, for example, the example that we have over here on the left-hand side by, one second, K-Scan, which basically allows allows the user to scan about 12,000, to scan the scalp and compare it with thousands of images that are there, and give an output about the scalp health and what are the kind of treatments that it would need to sort of improve their scalp health. And similar kind of tool is also available for skin health, where consumers can actually take a picture of the skin, and the AI tool will compare it with all the database it has and tell them about the issues that the skin is facing and how, what are the different remedies that are available for that particular issue. Not just about communicating with consumers, but also in the product development space, AI has a huge role to play. So Revela Skin Essence is using fibroquine, which is a molecule that was discovered using AI. Because in their system, they had a huge database of all the lab tests that were done of all the different molecules, and then AI could simply analyze which molecules works best, considering the restrictions, considering the results from the lab tests, considering the consumer requirements. The second product example from China is also enriched with peptides that were discovered using AI technology. So yes, just summarizing the three spaces that we covered. The first one was about sophisticated simplicity, where it is important for brands to highlight the quality and the efficacy aspect of the products by focusing on the efficacy of ingredients and being transparent about the communication. The second the second theme was about neuroglow, where we correlated beauty and personal care with mental well-being and looked at terms like psychodermatology and innovations in that space. And the last one was about integrating AI within the beauty and personal care space. While we were talking about AI and while we are recommending FMCG brands to sort of look into that area for further product development, we as Mintel have already implemented AI in our services. So we have implemented this tool called Leap, which is part of Mintel subscription now, which uses the technology of AI, where the generative technology of AI, where you ask a question and you will get all the answers to the question that you have asked, but at the same time, it also has credibility of Mintel. So decades of data that we have in our system, decades of insights that our expert analysts have been putting in the system, it will use all those insights to come up with answers to your specific questions. It is quite advanced. Our clients can actually go in, just type, I want to prepare a 12-slider deck on skincare trends, and it would give them an entire flow for those 12 slides. Here's a quick example where this is based on hair care in China, where we would put a prompt and we would get an immediate output using all the Mintel data. And those alphabets in the end will also direct the clients to the sources from where the data is coming from. So it's all Mintel data and insights that will be sort of providing these final results. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for being patient throughout this session. And we are stationed at booth F11. So if you want to know more about Mintel, you can come and interact with us. And let us know if you have any questions now, or we can connect later as well. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sure, sure. Yeah.
I just wanted to offer a token of appreciation. Thank you, Saurabh, for sharing the well-studied and suggestive trends to unfold in 2024. Just a small token of appreciation from our end.